If I had to pick just 3 growth ETFs to hold through 2026, the ones I'm about to share would be at the absolute top of my list. And I'm not talking about some speculative plays or trendy picks that might crash and burn. I'm talking about battle-tested, data-verified powerhouses that have real money behind them. We're diving deep into 3 ETFs backed by November 2025 data. And here's what makes this interesting. One of them returned over 30% in the last year. Another cost you just $40 annually per 100,000 invested. And the third has been crushing the S&P 500 for a decade straight. The AI infrastructure boom is real. We're looking at over $1 trillion in cumulative investments through 2030, and these 3 funds are positioned right at the center of it. So let's get into it. Quick favor, hit like and subscribe right now so YouTube shows this to more people who need to see it. Before we jump into the picks, let me set the stage for why 2026 is such a critical year for growth investors. We're at this intersection of artificial intelligence build-out, semiconductor innovation, and cloud computing expansion that's creating once-in-a-generation opportunities. But here's the thing about growth investing. Picking individual stocks is incredibly risky. You could pick the wrong company, miss the timing, or watch your portfolio get crushed by one bad earnings report. That's where growth ETFs come in. They give you professional diversification, instant exposure to dozens or hundreds of companies, and they take the emotional roller coaster out of the equation. Today we're analyzing 3 specific funds: QQQ, VGT, and VUG. We're looking at verified performance metrics, cost efficiency that actually matters, risk profiles you need to understand, and most importantly, the 2026 catalyst that could drive these funds higher. Each one has a different personality, a different approach, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one fits your investment style. Let's start with the legendary veteran, the Invesco QQQ Trust. This is the fund that's been around for 26 years, launched back in March 1999, and it's still crushing it today. We're talking about $402.82 billion in assets under management. To put that in perspective, that's more money than the GDP of most countries. QQQ tracks the NASDAQ 100 index, which means you're getting exposure to 101 of the most innovative, high-growth companies in America. Now here's where it gets interesting. The performance numbers. Over the last 10 years, QQQ has delivered 20.3% annualized returns. Compare that to the S&P 500's 15.27% over the same period. And you're looking at serious outperformance year-to-date in 2025. It's up 19.55%. And the 1-year return sits at 26.98%. This isn't luck. This is consistency. Let me break down what you actually own when you buy QQQ. The top holding is NVIDIA at 9.77% of the fund. Then you've got Apple at 8.71%, Microsoft at 8.05%. Broadcom comes in at 5.69%, Amazon at 5.45%. The beautiful thing about QQQ is that it's not just a pure technology play. Yes, technology makes up 64% of the fund, but you've also got 18% in communication services, 9% in consumer cyclical, 4% in healthcare. This balance matters because it means you're not completely at the mercy of one sector's performance. When tech has a rough day, sometimes your consumer stocks hold you up. The fund pays a quarterly dividend too, currently yielding 0.47% annually, which works out to $2.84 per share. The most recent ex-dividend date was September 22, 2025, and the next one should hit around December 22nd. Now the expense ratio is 0.2%, which is the highest of our 3 picks today, but you're paying for something valuable here. Legendary Liquidity QQQ is the second most traded ETF in the United States. That means you can get in and out of positions instantly without moving the market. For 2026, QQQ's thesis is straightforward. It's the proven institutional favorite that captures AI growth, cloud computing expansion, and e-commerce trends all in one package. When you buy QQQ, you're basically saying, I trust the NASDAQ 100 to continue leading American innovation, and historically, that's been a very good bet. Now let's talk about the tech purist, Vanguard Information Technology ETF, ticker VGT. If QQQ is balanced, VGT is all in. We're talking about 97.98% pure information technology allocation. This fund has $115.03 billion in assets. It trades at $756.26 as of November 16, 2025, and it charges just 0.09% in annual expenses. That's $9 per 10,000 invested. VGT is absolutely crushing it in 2025 with year-to-date returns of 22.05%, leading our three picks for the current year. The one-year return is 22.46% with dividends included. Here's what makes VGT special. Concentration. NVIDIA represents 17.17% of this fund. Apple is 13.36%. Microsoft is 13.10%. Just those three companies make up 43.63% of your investment. Then you've got Broadcom at 4.47%, Oracle at 2.34%, Palantir at 2.02%. The fund holds 317 individual technology companies, so you do get some diversification within the sector, but make no mistake, this is a semiconductor, software, and hardware bet. The top 10 holdings represent 57.65% of total assets. VGT's dividend situation is interesting. Despite being a growth fund focused on technology, it actually pays the highest annual dividend of our three picks, $3.07 per share, though the yield is 0.41%. The most recent dividend was 85.86 cents paid on September 24, 2025, and the next payment should come around December 18th or 19th with an estimated payout between 77.66 cents and 87.2 cents. The payout ratio sits at 15.85%, which shows these tech companies are generating serious cash while still reinvesting heavily in growth. The risk with VGT is obvious. If technology stumbles, you stumble hard. There's basically zero exposure to consumer cyclicals, financials, or healthcare. You're all in on one sector. But here's the flip side. If you believe that AI infrastructure build-out, semiconductor innovation, and cloud migration are the dominant themes for 2026 and beyond, then why dilute your exposure? TSMC is producing 2-nanometer chips with 25 to 30% improved power efficiency. That's the foundation for next-generation AI computing, and VGT gives you pure exposure to that trend. The November 2025 volatility we saw with trade policy, uncertainty, and semiconductor weakness actually creates an entry opportunity if you believe the fundamentals remain intact, which I do. Now let's talk about the balanced champion. Vanguard Growth ETF, ticker VUG. This is where things get really interesting. VUG just delivered a 30.28% one-year return, the strongest recent performance of all three funds. It's the largest fund we're discussing today with $342.47 billion in assets under management. It trades at $483.52, and here's the kicker. It charges just 0.04% in annual expenses. That's 0.04%. On a $100,000 investment, you're paying $40 per year. Compare that to QQQ's $200 per year, and over 20 years, that difference compounds to approximately $3,200 in additional wealth just from cost savings alone. VUG tracks the CRSP, U.S. Large Cap Growth Index with 160 individual holdings. The year-to-date return for 2025 is 21.76%, and the 5-year average annual return is 20.7%. That 5-year number is absolutely crushing it. If you invested $1,000 5 years ago, it would be worth approximately $2,236 today. The long-term compound annual return since 1995 is 11.64%, which might seem lower than the others. But remember, this includes multiple market crashes and recoveries over nearly 30 years. VUG's holdings tell a story of balanced growth. NVIDIA is the top position at 12.29%. Microsoft at 11.49%, Apple at 10.53%, Amazon at 6.53%, Broadcom at 4.41%, Meta at 4.38%. But here's what makes VUG different. Look at the diversification. Technology is 62% of the fund, but you've got 16% in communication services, 10% in consumer cyclical, 5% in healthcare, 3% in financials, 2% in industrials. That healthcare exposure includes Eli Lilly in the top 10 holdings at 1.98%. That matters because pharmaceutical innovation, weight loss drugs, and healthcare AI are massive growth trends that pure tech funds completely miss. VUG pays a 0.43% dividend yield, working out to $2.05 per share annually. The quarterly dividend amounts show consistent growth: 50.68 cents in Q3 2025, 50.44 cents in Q2, 50 cents in Q1. That's modest but steady dividend growth visible in the actual payments. The next ex-dividend date should be around December 23rd or 24th. The beautiful thing about VUG is that it captures the core growth themes of AI, cloud, and semiconductors through its big tech holdings, but it doesn't leave you completely exposed if one sector implodes. The 2026 thesis for VUG is simple. You want compound growth machines without single-sector catastrophe risk. So let's do the comparative showdown because this is where it gets really interesting. For year-to-date 2025 performance, VGT leads at 22.05%, VUG is second at 21.76%, QQQ is third at 19.55%. But flip to one-year returns and the order changes. VUG dominates at 30.28%, QQQ is second at 26.98%. VGT is third at 22.46%. For 5-year performance, VUG leads at 20.7% annualized. QQQ is nearly tied at 20.3% annualized, and VGT had a tougher 5 years with approximately 21.59% cumulative returns, which works out to roughly 4.32% annualized due to the 2021 to 2022 tech downturn. But for 10-year performance where we have data, QQQ takes the crown at 20.3% annualized. The cost difference is huge over time. VUG at 0.04% cost you $40 annually per 100,000 invested. Total 20-year cost of $800. VGT at 0.09% costs $90 annually. Total 20-year cost of $1,800. QQQ at 0.2% costs $200 annually. Total 20-year cost of $4,000. That's a $3,200 difference between VUG and QQQ over 20 years on a $100,000 investment. Concentration risk is where these funds really separate. VGT has the highest concentration with 97.98% in technology and 317 holdings. The top 3 positions make up 43.63% of the fund. QQQ has moderate concentration with 101 holdings from the NASDAQ 100. Top 3 representing 26.53%, and sector diversification across technology, communications, and consumer. VUG has the lowest concentration risk with 160 holdings across 5+ sectors with meaningful weights, and the top 3 positions represent 34.31%. The November 2025 context matters here. We saw early month volatility from Trump administration statements about NVIDIA chip exports to China. Semiconductor sector ETFs like SMH and SOXX dropped 4 to 5%. But then Microsoft announced a $15.2 billion UAE investment with significant AI computing commitments that supported the entire sector. This kind of volatility creates entry points for long-term investors because the fundamental themes driving these funds haven't changed. AI infrastructure is still getting built. Cloud migration is still happening. Semiconductor innovation is still accelerating. So here's your decision framework. Choose QQQ if you want the proven 26-year track record, moderate concentration that balances tech with other growth sectors, the legendary liquidity of the second most traded U.S. ETF, and that 20.3% annualized 10-year validation that this approach works. You're getting institutional acceptance and widespread availability in every brokerage platform. Choose VGT if you genuinely believe technology will continue outperforming all other sectors in 2026 and beyond. If you want pure exposure to AI, semiconductors, and software without dilution from other sectors, and you're comfortable with that 97.98% technology allocation risk, VGT is your play. You also get Vanguard's passive management excellence and that 0.09% expense ratio, plus the highest annual dividend per share at $3.07 despite being a growth fund. Choose VUG if you prioritize the absolute lowest cost structure for long-term wealth compounding, want balanced diversification across 5+ growth sectors, believe that 30.28% one-year performance and 20.7% 5-year annualized returns demonstrate consistent excellence, and value the largest asset base at $342.47 billion, providing maximum liquidity and stability. Here's a strategy worth considering. Why not blend all three? You could do 30% QQQ for the legendary NASDAQ 100 exposure, 40% VUG for low-cost balanced growth, and 30% VGT for pure technology upside. That gives you layered exposure to the same core holdings but with different concentration levels and cost structures. You're basically creating your own custom growth allocation. If I personally had to pick just one for 2026, I'm leaning toward VUG. The combination of that 0.04% expense ratio, the balanced sector diversification that includes healthcare and financials alongside technology, and the proven 5-year track record of 20.7% annualized returns makes it the most complete package. The 30.28% one-year return proves it can capture explosive growth when markets cooperate, but the diversification means it won't completely crater if one sector hits turbulence. That $3,200 cost savings over 20 years compared to QQQ might not sound huge, but compound that forward over 30 or 40 years of investing and it becomes real wealth. The bottom line for 2026 is this: growth investing isn't about picking the single winning stock that makes you rich overnight. It's about staying in the game with the right tools, letting compound returns do the heavy lifting, and not sabotaging yourself with high costs or excessive concentration risk. AI infrastructure is getting built, semiconductors are getting more powerful, cloud computing is expanding, and these three funds give you different ways to capture those trends. QQQ is the proven veteran with balance. VGT is the pure technology maximalist. VUG is the low-cost diversified growth machine. Each one has delivered strong returns, each one has a legitimate thesis for 2026, and honestly, you could make a great case for any of them. So here's my question for you. Which would you choose? Are you Team QQQ for that NASDAQ 100 prestige? Team VGT for pure technology concentration? Or Team VUG for balanced low-cost growth? Drop your pick in the comments below and tell me why. And remember, this isn't financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You need to do your own research and make decisions based on your personal situation and risk tolerance. But if you found this breakdown helpful, if these verified November 2025 numbers gave you clarity on your growth ETF strategy, hit that like button and subscribe, because we're going deep on investment analysis every single week. Growth investing isn't about picking winners. It's about staying in the game with the right tools. And these 3 ETFs are some of the best tools available. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.